Hi, and welcome to another tiny class episode, Tame My Anxiety. You're going to learn how to train your thoughts to master your mind. My name is Emily Green, and I'm an online therapist and couple coach over at branchoutonline.com. Just so you know, any links that I use today will be below. Just you can click on over there whenever you're ready. So don't feel like you have to jot anything down. So, my favorite technique that I use to help my clients tame their anxiety all on their own without medication is the ABCDE method. I know, kind of anticlimactic in the name, but we can blame the field of psychology because although it is a wonderful way of understanding ourselves, our behaviors, our drivers, our motives, and the other people's in our lives, the whole naming game, let's just say it kind of falls flat. So where does this method come from? I like to educate all the clients I work with to help them empower and equip them with tools that they can use all on their own. So even when they're not with me, they're able to take charge of their story and really work to overcome the unique obstacles in their life. So this is one, the ABCDE method, that comes from REBT. And again, apologize for the love of acronyms, but that is just something that psychology uses a lot of. So, what is REBT? It is a type of psychological theory and therapy that can be used to really help clients and other people. I use it a lot. It's a part of my toolkit to really empower and equip you with tools. So, what it stands for is rational, emotive, behavior therapy. You can kind of gist it all down to it's all about emotions, behavior, and thoughts. And Dr. Ellis, as he's the one who is the father of this whole theory and way of thinking, found that thoughts are connected or interconnected to emotions and behaviors. And he found that if you enter in at the thoughts and you use thoughts in a way, you can actually influence or change someone's emotions and then their behaviors. So we found there's this kind of interlocking cycle and found that thoughts is the great way to come in and create a pivot to change how someone's feeling. So we're going to use that method, and this is where it comes from, that theory involved, to help you tame your anxiety all on your own without any medication. Side note, if you are taking medication, please do not stop taking it because of this. This is just another technique that you can add to your toolbox to help you tame your anxiety. So, the ABCDE method stands for 1, activating event. Think of that as what happened. So, what happened to trigger your anxiety? 2, is getting in there and identifying the beliefs you have about what happened. 3, consequences. So C for consequences is, well, how do you feel and what are those thoughts you have because of your beliefs? D is that pivot moment. This is when you're going to dispute those beliefs you have to create a different emotional response. And E is, well, what is that new emotional consequence you have? FYI, you might notice consequences are used for both negative and positive feelings and you can call it categorization. A lot of times consequences gets this whole bad rap as it's gotta mean something really, really bad, where in fact it just means there's a cause and effect. So there's a change from it, and it can be negative and it can be positive, and also somewhere in between, kind of in neutral or kind of Switzerland world, you can think of it as. So we're going to use an example right now, and I'm going to show you how to use each of these. Now, for a very powerful kind of put it on quote unquote steroids, this approach to make it even more powerful is to actually write this stuff down. This is really good for people because writing has a powerful way of interrupting your brain and thought processes and gives you a sense of control over what's going on in your head. So it's a great way of getting out of your head and on paper and then becoming the master of your thoughts through the simple yet powerful act of writing. FYI, there's going to be a fun little freebie I'm going to give you at the end today that really capitalizes on that as well. So you can just grab a scrap sheet of paper if you want and jot this stuff down. All right, so let's break this down using a very typical event that happens for all of us. Say you had a fight with your significant other. So I'll give an example of, I'll put myself in that shoes of, hey, I'm having a lot of anxiety and I'm identifying the activating event. Don't worry, my husband gave me permission to use us as an example because the truth is every couple and every person can relate to having an argument with a loved one. So here we go. What happened? Activating event is my husband and I just got in this really big fight. Simple enough. Just write that down. B, beliefs. It's looking at identifying what thoughts and beliefs you have about what just happened. So my activating event was I just got in this big fight with my husband. So breaking down my thoughts and beliefs could be fighting is bad because conflict means we don't love each other anymore. Okay, so you can see those are my thoughts and beliefs associated with it. All right, so the next one is consequences. So what feelings or behaviors do I have because of those beliefs I just shared and those thoughts I just shared? Okay, well, since I said I believe that conflict is bad and it means we don't love each other, I'm feeling really anxious. I'm feeling scared. I'm feeling lonely. Those are feelings that I'm having because of those beliefs and thoughts I had. Some behaviors that might come up would be I could change the way I'm eating. For me personally, when I'm anxious, I lose my appetite. So I might notice that I have a loss of appetite and I'm not eating. Or where some people are exactly the opposite and it really triggers more emotional eating for them. So they might see an increase in their appetite. Another thing, it could be a consequence of a behavior from that belief of, oh my gosh, conflict is bad in our relationship. We just had this big fight. It means he doesn't love me or something like that. I might tend to behavior notice, I'm reaching out to everyone in my phone because I want to talk about it and kind of rehash it all. Or maybe for you, it could be, you know what, I'm really pulling in. I'm avoiding anyone. I don't want to see anybody. So there's some examples of some feelings and behaviors that can come as a result of that belief you have about that big fight you just encountered. D, this is what I like to call the pivot point. This pivot point is crucial because it's all about changing your feeling and your thoughts so that you're in control and you're actually producing this whole new emotional response. So dispute those beliefs and thoughts you have with a counter statement. So a counter statement, this is your place to just pull up and rely on all those creative juices, let it flow to create a counter statement to those negative beliefs and thoughts you had. So here's mine. Okay, my counter statement will be, you know what? Conflict, it's healthy in relationships. Everyone has it. That could be it. I could add a little bit to it, or I could come up with something else if that's maybe not strong enough. It could be, you know what? My husband and I love each other. We will work through this. That one, for me, it fits right now. So I'm going to go on. But you can see where you can come up with multiple counter statements till you get it to the level that meets your unique needs at that point. So I'm going to go on with, you know what? My husband and I, we're a team. I know we'll work through this. And then next, you're identifying how you feel with this new way of thinking. So what's that positive emotional consequence? Okay, well, I say my counter statement to myself again. You know what? My husband and I are a team. I know we'll work through this. It makes me feel hopeful. It makes me feel trusting. So those are those big ones of how it makes me feel. So you can see just by coming in and working out and working through kind of unpacking that anxiety, seeing where it comes from, which it always starts in your mind. And then you can change that by using that counter statement to dispute those negative thoughts by reworking how you're thinking, by creating a more positive environment. You can change how you're feeling, how your emotions are. Now, what I like to tell my clients is that these steps can be used over and over as much as you need them. So it's not like you only use it one time. You might need to use it multiple times in a single hour, and that's totally okay. That's the beauty of a technique like this, is you get better and better at it, and the effects get stronger and stronger the more you use it. So it's really cool when it comes to, self-help and coping. It is a skill that can be learned and strengthened. So you keep doing it and you'll get better and better at it. So if you are ready to tame your anxiety, you might want to take this 5-day anxiety journal challenge that I've created over at branchoutonline.com. So why did I create a journal? Because just like we've talked about today, something powerful happens when you write. Writing is a great way to interrupt the brain and start recreating an emotion based on your thoughts. And we all know the head can be an emotional roller coaster if you get stuck in there too long, especially when you're in what I like to call the whirlpool of anxiety. Those thoughts just keep on building and it can feel like you're just sinking in it. So if you're ready to come out of it, hop on over and get and download your free anxiety journal challenge. It's a 5-day journal that will help you use tools of writing to overcome the challenges that you have, to help you tame your anxiety and really get to be the master of your thoughts. I'll include that link below so you can go ahead and unleash the power of journaling in your life. Next, if you know anyone or yourself, if you're having a harder time with anxiety, I can't tell you how helpful it is to get meaningful support and to get it that works. The way I work with clients over at branchoutonline.com is I offer individual counseling over the phone or online. I find that that's an easy way for people to access help that makes them feel much more in control over the therapy they receive, and it just doesn't feel so much of a big of a deal, and it makes them feel like, you know what, I can keep this to myself. I don't have to schedule an appointment, deal with the logistical nightmares of that, because goodness, we all have so much on our plate these days, but it gives them the sense of, you know what, I can just do that alone in my car or at home and not have to tell someone where I'm going, or, oh my gosh, I might run into someone. So if that's something that interests you, but you believe it could be a good fit, go ahead and check me out if you're in the state of Florida. And if not, if you're somewhere else, I really encourage you to look out in your community for support, because it really will make a difference in your story. Again, thanks so much for a tiny class episode, and I really hope you find help by using the ABCDE method to tame your anxiety. And also, don't forget to hop on over there and unleash the power of journaling to take our 5-day anxiety journal challenge.